asu-tv, what's going on? I'm your host, T. Bell, and you're watching the Ram Recap. Start the show off with a quick rundown of the weekend scores. First off with tennis, let's pop it off with our women's tennis team, who grabbed a 7-0 sweep in the home opener versus Fort Valley on Saturday. The team was led by Latoya Boyd, who alongside Alani Gauthier, dominated for a 6-0 win in the number 3 doubles match. The ladies' round momentum carried over into the singles matches as the Golden Rounds cruised the victories in singles matches 1 through 6, including 6-1 and 6-2 wins from Boyd and Ferrero, respectively. The Golden Rounds will return to action on February 20th through the 22nd as they travel to Columbia, South Carolina for the SIAC Conference Roundup, hosted by Benedict College. Now on to women's basketball. Our ASU Lady Rams basketball team fell to the Wildcats of Fort Valley State, 48-38 Saturday evening. Fort Valley jumped out to a 36-18 lead through 3 quarters, and it proved to be too much for the Lady Rams to overcome, despite being plus 10 in the fourth quarter. The Rams just had an off night from the field, shooting just 31% in the contest. But the key to this game were the boards. The Rams were out-rebounded 62-37 on the night. Alexandria James led the Golden Rams, contributing 19 points and 5 boards. Monday night, they headed down to Clark, Atlanta for a SIAC East showdown. After leading most of the first half and late into the fourth quarter, Clark, Atlanta wasn't able to hold off Albany State, falling 64-55 Monday night in Clark, Atlanta. Alexandria James and Sierra Norman added 23 points apiece to lead the Rams to a victory. On to men's basketball, the Albany State University men's basketball team fell to the Wildcats of Fort Valley 75-72 on Saturday evening. The Rams fought all game and kept the game in striking distance, but ultimately fell short in the end. Self-inflicted wounds were ultimately the deciding factor in the result of this game. It's hard to win games when you give the opponent extra possessions, which was exactly what ASU did with 26 turnovers. Mario Young finished with the team-high 16 points. On Monday night, our boys were also in Atlanta to battle for the number 1 seed in the SIAC East. In a tightly contested battle, our Rams would grab the win 63-62 on the last-second alley-oop from Camille Brown and Randy McClure. McClure led the team with 16 points, and our Rams hit at a 54% clip for the entire game. Both our men's and lady teams will be back home in action versus Payne College Thursday, February 20th at Oliver Jones Hyper Gymnasium. On to baseball, Albany State University baseball team fell to the 33rd ranked Young Harris College Mountain Lions on its non-conference weekend series. The Mountain Lions improved to 6-1 while the Golden Rams fell to 5-3. Young Harris College achieved a full sweep of the Rams, going 3-0 in the series. The Golden Rams will return to action on Wednesday, February 19th as they host the Hurricanes of Georgia Southwestern. The first pitch is slated for 6 p.m. Our Lady Rams suffered defeat this weekend versus Georgia Southwestern. The final score was 11-3 as Georgia Southwestern improved to 7-2 and our Lady Rams fell to 0-5. And time for our NBA All-Star Weekend recap. This weekend, the NBA was live in the Windy City and it was action-packed. Friday, the festivities were kicked off in the celebrity game with Team Stephen A. versus Team Michael Wilbon. Team Wilbon toppled Team Stephen A 62-47, with Chicago native and Grammy-nominated artist Common winning MVP honors. He finished with 10 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 steals. Following the celebrity game, it was now time for the NBA Rising All-Star Game. Miles Bridges took home the MVP honors after leading Team USA to a 151-131 victory and putting on the show. Miles finished with 24 points. Next up was All-Star Saturday, which over-delivered on expectations. The skills challenge was decided between unlikely finalists Bam Adebayo and Domantas Sabonis, with Bam draining the final shot and becoming the first Heat player to win the challenge since Miami legend D-Wade. Next in the show was the three-point shootout, which featured some of the league's best long-range snipers. In the final round, it came down to the last shot on the last rack, where Buddy Hield defeated Devin Booker to become your 2020 three-point shootout champion. And last, but definitely not least, on the night was the annual NBA dunk contest. The contestants for this year's contest were Dwight Howard, Aaron Gordon, Derrick Jones Jr., and Pat Connaughton. Aaron Gordon easily stole the show, posting a record 5 straight dunks that received a perfect score of 50. But in the end, somehow it was still Derrick Jones Jr. who reigned supreme. Derrick Jones Jr. is your 2020 Slam Dunk champion. Now, it's time for the show that everybody was waiting for. Sunday night All-Star Game. With the new format of the All-Star Game being introduced, it would help bring much needed intensity back to the game. The teams would be rocking number 2 and number 24 respectively to honor the late legend Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna. And as LeBron stated after that game, Kobe's presence was definitely there on the court with everybody. Team LeBron would win quarter 1 with Team Giannis taking quarter 2 by a wide margin, and quarter 3 would end in a tie. The new format takes the highest score from either team and adds 24 points, and whatever that total is becomes game point. So to start the fourth quarter, there would be no time limit, with the score being 133 to 124. And Team Giannis would have the lead, and game point would be 157. Team LeBron would go on to outscore them in the fourth, 33 to 22, with Chicago native Anthony Davis icing the game at the free throw line and winning the game 157 to 155. Kawhi Leonard would take home the newly named Kobe Bryant All-Star Game MVP with 30 points, and he dedicated this game to his late mentor. And that'll do it for today's show. It's been real. I'm your host, T. Bell, and you just watched the round recap.